Hi everybody, thanks for tuning into another video on TK's Tech Corner. Today we're going to be taking a look at a charging stand for the PSVR 2 headset. Now, I know the headset itself doesn't need charging. It's connected to your PC or PlayStation via a USB-C cable, and that's what powers it. But the controllers most certainly do, and more importantly, or most importantly, you generally need a convenient way of storing these things when you're not using them. So I have kindly been sent this stand by KIWI Design. I've recently also reviewed their MetaQuest 3 charging stand that they sent with a head strap. This one here now is for the PlayStation 2. So just from a packaging perspective, you've got this nice solid cardboard box here, which has got some insets. I think these are all going to clip together to form the stand. And then the stand itself, which has got a very PlayStation 5-esque look, just based on the color scheme. You've got this white or black on white, which is again exactly color coded to the PlayStation 5, the default white PS5 anyway. And then we've got what's going to be here, probably the housing for the controllers. So we'll set it up, test it out, and see what it's all about. Because otherwise, generally, I think what I find anyway is this thing doesn't get much use, and it sits in the actual box it came in, because the box by default seems to be the best way of storing this product. And then isn't a big problem, but then when you want to get it out to use, it generally isn't the most convenient or quickest thing to get out. Just get the box out of the way. I've got the controllers there, you can see, and I've got the headset on the side as well. Once we've got this thing set up, we'll give it a little test. So it's got a power adapter as well with it. I did see the power socket on the back, which was here. That's just a DC jack by the looks of it. So this will probably keep the controllers charged, and it will be interesting to see how all that works. So what we've got here are so magnetic connectors for the controllers to drop into the charging cradle, so you're not having to align them to a C port and push them in, which is a good thing. These are literally just going to snap in place, I suppose. So there's two connectors there. If I hold them in close, you'll be able to see them, and they're going to just plug into the actual C ports on the controllers. We'll put them aside, do them in a minute. This is going to be some cable management for something or other, maybe the actual headset cable. Once you've rolled it up, you can just put the strap on it. And then there's well, that's not going to work anytime soon. I'm going to have to find a transformer for that, but that's a 2-pin, that's American, I think. I don't know where that's from. Power jack. So we'll need a transformer for that. Let's check voltage on it. As long as it's 120, 240, 110, yeah, 100, 240 volts. So using this in the UK is not going to be a problem. Output 9 volt, 2.5 amp. Just be aware. So you can either get an equivalent voltage adapter, DC adapter, with this DC jack on it there, or it's not focusing, is it? Or we can just get an adapter, and I've probably got one somewhere, but unfortunately not to hand. So let's see what this is all about. This is going to just clip into the base like so. Really is looking like a little PlayStation 5 accessory. It really is looking like a proper PS5 accessory actually. Now I wonder if we've got no luck. I was hoping there might have been a 3-pin plug on that side, but there we go. So I think this is going to go like this. Which way around it goes is going to be the question. It can only go in, or it can actually go in both ways, so I'm going to go with this, but I might end up getting it wrong. No, I think that's going to be right. So I think that this little curve here on the back is going to be holding it like this, stops it from moving around. On that basis, I think this is actually going to be the front. So I think it's going to sit on there, something like that. That's my guess. And for that reason, I'm going with putting this in this way around. I'm going to commit to that by locking this thing in place. And when I do get it in, you will know, because it's probably going to make a nice click. Right, it's in. There we go. So that's what it looks like on the side profile. It's got a good weight to it, so it's not going to be moving around so easily. Let's get these connectors in here. I think there's going to be some charging indication on the front panel, but again, because I haven't got a DC, well, I haven't got the 3-pin adapter, probably not going to be able to test that out right now. I might take a quick pause to see if I can actually find one. If I can, then it'll be nice to actually just test it out. So from what, yeah, so that the magnets are quite strong. It really is attracting that straight in. So let's get the other one in as well. This is better than fumbling around trying to find all sorts of cables and having to plug cables in and having them hanging around for when you're not using it. So these just literally dock in very, very nicely. Again, the magnets are extremely strong, and that is ready to charge. Now, it's also got the additional option to charge what I think is here. I think this is to charge DualSense controller. So let's see if we can get one of those. So there's a DualSense controller. Now if I put that in as well, that just drops in. So now this is all of a sudden becoming very, very useful, right? Not just for, well, because I hold it at an angle, it's probably going to fall off. But what you can see is these charging connectors drop into the cradle there, and it holds it up quite nicely. Now all of a sudden this is very useful because it's not only charging your PSVR 2 controllers, it's also going to keep your DualSense controllers charged and stowed away nicely as well. So the headset itself is going to sit on like this. So it rests on this platform here. This part rests on there. And then the back is ultimately there, as we said it would be. I suppose we could probably turn it out a little bit if we wanted. There's a button to do that, isn't there? There's a way of adjusting this. I use it so infrequently that I forget how this thing works, to be honest, most of the time. There we go, that's how it works. And then we'll just see how the cable management works as well. So you can see where that's sitting in the back there. That's held in quite nicely. And you can tighten it using this thing here, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So that sits in very nicely. It's holding, it's nice and steady. And then as for cable management, you'd probably be wrapping up this cable. This is another problem with this, right? It's nice that it's got such a long cable, but when you've got to actually manage it, then how do you do that? So in this case now, you can loop up the cable and turn this sideways so you can actually see what I'm doing. You can loop up the cable like this and hang it over the back before you put the headset down, and that way it's just going to be dangling around the back and it will be nicely in place. So there's my cable looped up nicely. Let's just quickly apply the cable management they've given. Oops, and you can see I've just gone and dropped that off. I've completely knocked it all off. I'm really making a meal out of this, and I shouldn't have to. So this here, this little cable management system is going to go on here, and I'm going to put it roughly there because I know where it's going to be tied up now. So the way this will work is it's got a little hole in it. Tighten that through there, and then it will always stay on one side. So you can just release that quickly whenever you're ready to release it. Right, get that in place and just lock it in. And that way your cable's staying together. Now, you can see how easy it is to all of a sudden just drop the cable on. Cable's hanging over the back, it's not dangling around. Headphones obviously are going to house in the side of the headset anyway. When they're in the box, you can't do that. You've got to actually take them off. That in there. And now we've got a nice place to stow the headset and the controller's charging. And additionally, as a bonus, the DualSense controllers charging as well. Right, I've had a very quick rummage around and I managed to find a travel adapter. So this thing is going to go straight into a 3-pin port now. I have to put it that way around to make it a bit easier. I'm just going to release this a little bit, not too much. And then we'll test it out and see how it works. Right, it's on. So I'm going to try and hold this up, and no doubt stuff's just going to start falling off all over the place. So I'm going to try and hold it. What you can see there, you can see the charging indicators for the DualSense, the PSVR 2 controllers, the 2 green circles, and then the DualSense controller is also showing a charge indicator that you can't see because when I hold this thing up, it just falls down. But what I will do for the sake of making this easier is if I just quickly put this here, because my camera is up ahead, and if I actually show you this now, you'll be able to see what I mean properly. So you can see the charging indicator there. That's a lot better. You can also see how sturdy the VR2 controls are in. They're just literally hosed. They're housed in through that magnetic connector, and they're just staying in place. Everything else is falling around, right? But this, they're there, they're fixed. They're not going anywhere. So that's really, really good. So you can charge two DualSense controllers and your VR2 controllers at the same time, have them topped up, ready to go. And then again, this is very, very easy to drop in now because I'm literally just dropping the cable on there and then placing this over the top of it, keeping everything in place. And you've got a very, very tidy stowaway solution and charging solution for the PSVR 2 headset. So this product by KIWI Design, there's going to be a link for this in the description below in case you want to pick one up. Awesome product. I recommend you pick this up if you got a PSVR 2. I don't think I've seen many of these of this quality on the market, to be honest. So thank you KIWI Design for sending this through. Really appreciate it. Link in the description. Any questions, please ask them in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Really appreciate the support on the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.